bonjour. Right, I know I said a couple of weeks ago that a few people have given me yump on YouTube because, you know, they put me off picking up on comics, and I've started doing the reviews of the good stuff. Well, I think it's good stuff because I've got my arse back into my local comic shops, and there's quite a few around here where I live, which is really surprisingly good. But obviously I'm one from the new stuff, and then I'll parade around if they've got back issues, etc, etc. So fair play to comic shops surviving. But look at this. Frank is back. Yeah, baby. And I know that's an old Alex Ross cover, and I'm going to be reviewing the latest run of The Punisher because it is really good, and I've chosen it because this is the one that I was quite disappointed about when it was announced that they was changing his signature. They're changing from, you know, this of old, and look at the, you know, I mean, you can't tell me that they're not, there's no messaging in that, and that isn't good artwork. So apologies there for the blur, but and they're changing it to that. Well, I'm here to tell you that this latest run on The Punisher by Jason Aaron and Jesus Size and Paul as a, I'm going to have to check his name, Paul as a Cassetta, sorry if I've got those names wrong, and Dave Stewart on the colours, is spot on. Frank is back. We're going to get into it after the scroll. I think that's all I've got to say, but no, it isn't all I've got to say. I just thoroughly recommend it. Do not be put off by these naysayers that need the views. They need to moan. Like, nothing can be good anymore because they've got their shtick now on their channels and they need to moan. Well, I want to find things to rave about, and that's why I decided to do the comic stuff, to be fair, and this is something to rave about, and I will after my little scroll and my new little tune. See you in a bit. So let's linger on the Alex Ross artwork for a little while, shall we? You can never get enough of that. I know it's an old, I think, yeah, I don't know how old it is, but that's obviously old. We start off with a different style from the modern, what you're going to see. This is no spoiler, is it? Guess what storyline that is? Yes, we're in Central Park. Maria and the kids are getting it, and so is Frank. Nicely done with a splash at the end. Love it. Now look at this montage. Let's stay on this for a little while and just reminisce on the, you know, this potted history of the Punisher. I really did enjoy, from, you know, the Mike Zeck stuff from I don't know what artist that is, but on the earlier mini-series, a little bit of Mike Zeck there. There's that lovely Steve Dillon run he did, which was fantastic. Obviously put him in the modern audience's mind. I think that run for me. The Warzone, John Romita Jr. stuff, lovely. A little bit of Steve Dillon again. I think that was a cover of one of the graphic novels. And then a bit of Frank Miller stuff. Just all the greats, really. I just thought that was a really nice way of kind of a potted history, a way of introing this new take on the Punisher, which, just let me tell you, this new take on the Punisher and is not wimping out or all the bad news, like I say, like I've mentioned, I'd heard. This is a good storyline, and this is good artwork. Jesus Size and Paul as a Cassetta are on the, sorry for pronunciations, I'll say it again, Jesus Size and Paul as a setter or an art. Good old Dave Stewart on the colouring again. As you can see, Dave Stewart, a master. He's on a lot of stuff colouring wise, but without his colouring, this in this digital age, this is just nice stuff. Look, this is nice, mean and moody stuff. You cannot tell me that this is a wimpy Punisher. Like I was, and I am a little bit angry that I was told he's wimped out, and just because he's got swords now instead of a gun. This is not wimping out. You've got to get over it. Okay, they changed the logo. I don't know if it might change back, but what they do is they get you're dropped straight into this story. You're dropped straight in it. Look, action all the way through this. This is the picture that they used because it shows off the swords and the hand. I saw this picture quite a lot when a lot of people were moaning and groaning that they've wimped out the Punisher for the modern audience. Just believe me, guys, they haven't. Modernised it, yeah. They're not gun shy. You can tell, and they're not violence shy either. This is a look. Might he use guns again? I don't know. I just like the way they've done it. There is nothing to be afraid of in this comic. Look at the action scenes that the artists are doing, and Jason Aaron obviously on the writing. It's a good, and I will flip through it. And I know I did say spoilers, but this is well worth. It is well worth getting hold of this. This is issue 1. And like I say, we're right into the story, a little bit of mystery, a little reveal right at the end of the issue, and then look who we aim, Maria. Now, and how they use her in this storyline with Frank. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen this done before, unless it was in a flashback. Love it, love it. And then we're on to issue 2, and another great cover. Another great cover. I just thought this is really impactful cover. Obviously this will get put straight back in a bag as soon as I'm finished showing you guys because of this whiteness. Look, oh, I thought the Alex Ross one was, again, brings us back in with a flashback. I just think that's nicely done. I do like this. Now we're going back, and I don't think I've ever seen this done before, and obviously I haven't got every single Punisher comic ever done. I really haven't. I've got most, but not a lot of the modern stuff, but I don't know if we've gone back to his childhood before. It's really nicely done. It's some nice adult storytelling in this. Again, just the motif here. I like this motif of the guns, as maybe like in a history exhibit, a museum exhibit that he's walking past because he's got the swords now. But it's not as simple as that. It's not. As you will learn in the next few issues, or as you learn in these first 6 issues, all is not what it seems. And I'm not saying that's because it's a dream. You know, he's going to wake up and it's all a dream. It's not that. It's not that. And you have got your doubts, and they're doing the flashbacks for a reason. And they kind of sow this character into his childhood, as if the hand, you know, has had their eye on him for a while. And now we've got these guys who are kind of like the main villains. I'll try not to give too much away. Like I say, he's not wimping out, is he? He's not wimping out. The hand have just, you know, got him using, you know, there's a dagger that's prominent in his childhood from when he first met this woman, this wizard. And then yeah, I love that. I love that. I wish I had that cover, to be fair. I wish I had that cover, because I've got this cover for issue 3, which isn't the greatest, but where I was going back, where I'd only been recommended this at issue 6, and I had to go back. I couldn't. This is a variant edition, but I'm not too look at this, glorious. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the cover, but anyway, look at it. I love just love how this is done. This is great artwork, and I know I keep saying it. Is there anything here that makes you think that Frank Castle's wimped out so far? I mean, and some of the things he's done. I mean, some of the stuff again, this different style. At first it can be a little. It jarred me a bit, but you really do get into the rhythm of it. You really do relax into this style for the flashbacks, almost like if it was live action, it'd be sepia, and it might be crackly, and the soundtrack might be mono instead of stereo. Do you know what I mean? All these little techniques. So you really do get into the different coloured lettering boxes and panels and stuff. A lot of flashback here. I didn't realise how much flashback there was in issue 3 actually, but that's a very good. And again, even when he was you know, kind of going into his childhood and a bit of, I know it's a very modern thing, isn't it, to go into the psychiatry of it all, but and then we're back present day. Still, again, I really do like the style of these guys. I really do like the style of it, and you won't be disappointed with the action. And now we learn a bit more about, you know, is it all a dream with Maria, and you know, the scenes with the hand are handled well. Ha ha ha! See what I did there? They're handled really well. I wish I'd rehearsed that, guys. And I've lost me track a bit now. Anyway, that's the end of issue 3. I'll crack on through, because obviously I don't want to linger too much, because I really do. I can't tell you guys enough how much, how good this is, how good this run is, what a delight it was for Frank to be back. Again, open up on a flashback. It's just a nice format. It's a nice format. Love the use of the red with a hand in the backgrounds, and obviously that's quite a gory scene, so maybe you could accuse it of being a little bit on the nose. I'm kind of glossing over the main, like his main protagonist in this, just to leave something alone, really. Nice scenes of Maria. That's unravelling. That's unravelling. It was a surprise to see these two back. A nice surprise. You know, just bringing all these elements back in. Bringing all these elements back in. And again, you know, some very, very well handled action scenes by the artists. Just lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. I've just gone back to this a couple of times already. Our tribute to Neil Adams, bless. Awesome. What a hero. What an artist. Anyway, back on track. This is nice stuff, you know, because it's the hand, you've got to have your little bit of mysticism in it. And again, I don't know how much of this is owed to the colour, to Dave Stewart on the colouring, but very nicely done, very nice. You know, how much of this is in the colouring? How do they? I would like to see a little behind the scenes of the modern style artwork, because for me it's just pencil, you know, pencil, inks, colour on top. But I'm a geeky old hog, ain't I? This was nice as well in a flashback when he meets Maria. Now I don't know, I can't think of anyone who's gone back and done that. I could be well wrong. I can't believe that after all these years no one's ever delved back into the history of Frank Castle. But it's you know, they link it. I thought it was. I just think it's nice. I know a lot of people are moaning that he's got a new, but you know, times move on. But it fits for now. This storyline, I can't help feeling it might revert, and then what an issue that's going to be. The return of the old Frank Castle, because this delves into, you know, a little bit of, maybe a little bit of brainwashing going on and using Maria against him. You know, the hand isn't all what it seems, and lovely, mean and moody. It's Frank Castle, it's the Punisher. Issue 4. Issue 5, I thought this was a really nice cover. I mean, this is a rarity for a Punisher cover. Now you can't tell me this isn't a typical Punisher cover. What a beautiful. I don't know how to describe it. You know, it's not an action. You know, this wouldn't sell an action comic, a Punisher comic on the newsstand, was it? But this is issue 5. We know what's going on. It's beautiful artwork. Somehow, even with the colouring, I'm assuming it's Dave Stewart again. Just a sombre note. I don't know if they could have gone a bit more autumnal, really. But anyway, there's definitely a sombre tone to this cover. Here we go into chapter 5. Right, so we've broken out of the mould of doing flashbacks at the beginning of each issue, but this picks up immediately, the pace of this, and then bang, bosh, this is a big turning point. So they've gone bang, straight in. We're getting a bit more of the magic and mysticism of the hand in this. Again, they're not shy of the gore. They're not shy of the gore. And this was a nicely done scene. Back into the history, you know, back to the hockey game where he reminded me of the film Slapshot back in the day. I don't know if any of you are going to be old as the hog to remember that. Paul Newman in the hockey, where all it was fighting, and that it did have a little bit of an element of that for me. introduced the character into his, you know, into his background. Like I say, I just found these flashback stuff's nice. I really did. Nothing to be afraid of with the art style. You know, it comes across when you first as glaring and a bit simplistic, but please don't. It matches it so nicely. This is just. Oh, it's just. Yeah. Well, that didn't work, did it? So, is she the big bad, or is these guys and their leader who he's been fighting the big bad? Ha ha! Here we go. Bang! Oi! He's got my shirt on. What's he doing wearing my shirt? He's a bad guy. Yes, Frank, he is. And that's the cover for the next issue that we've got here. So we're right up to date now, issue 6. Don't know whether 7 is on the way as I'm recording this. So we're back to normal now with the setup, with the flashbacks. Again, you can just see, I hope, on the screen the beautiful colouring. Beautiful. And oh, sorry, I was really distracted by that Miracle Man issue 0 then. But you can tell, you know, you can just tell, you know, we're 6 issues in and the big bad turn up at the end of the last one, and it's just you want the mega fight. We've been building up to it. Nice. Just that flashback scene, and you know what this is. Even if that didn't say Maria, you would just know. You would just know what that is. Just obviously more of everything. All these elements coming together now. They're just sewing it in. For, you know, this is the 6th issue. For the previous 5 issues, oh, Frank's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Look, dragging him by his foot. He's gonna get it. All the elements of the past five issues coming together. I know I said spoilers, but I'm trying not to give anything away, and I'm flicking a bit quick because you have got an idea of the artwork and the colouring, and you've got the idea of, you know, this is his army service now. We've got the flashback too. All these elements they're bringing in and exploring. It's just nice. It's really interesting. It makes you look forward to the next issue. It makes you happy that Frank is back, and it just makes you glad that he is. And bosh, there we go. Excellent. Now, as if it couldn't get any better, one of my favourite characters of all time turns up in issue 6, at the end of issue 6. So why am I looking forward to issue 7? I do not know. Anyway, that's all I've got for the Punisher. I think I've gushed enough. So I will bid you adios.